Hi there, Dave here from Quality Yorkshire Homes here in Wakefield, West Yorkshire. We specialise in building, buying, refurbishing, re-letting properties in and around the Wakefield area. But not going to talk about property today. No, I've got a fantastic special offer for you today, and it's called QIFF, and it's not hair related. It's quick, informative, free and fun information and knowledge that you might be able to use to the best of your ability, and that fantastic offer is completely free. And all it's going to do is we're going to talk to you about people and the different types of people you might deal with in your personal and your business life, and how you can use a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of information to improve your interaction with people, because we all know how much we need people. So remember, it's quick, informative, fun and free information and knowledge that you're going to get today as part of this special offer. So I'm going to be assisted today by my able assistants, Nellie the elephant, who is the same age as me, 1963, and over here we've got the world's grumpiest dad. He's going to assist us as well, and in the middle Peter Perfect, who is here to sort of balance things out. So thanks for my assistance. Remember, quick, informative, free, fun information and knowledge today. That's all today's about. That's a very special offer that you're getting. So for today's offer, really, we're going to look at the different types of people. We're going to give you a whistle-stop tour and use some extremes just to make the point, so please understand that. But we're going to give you a whistle-stop tour, and hopefully then you're going to adapt that behaviour and learn some do's and don'ts and some little tips about how you can use that and use that knowledge to improve your personal and your business relationships. Remember, it's QIFF, quick, informative, fun and free. So, using this knowledge, I spent donkey's years learning. I became in a big organisation. I became quite successful, a critical incident manager. I was building and running high-performing teams, delivering high-performance targets to the organisation, and I use this knowledge to bring about changes and it's quite often challenge the status quo. But more recently than that, in the last few years, using this information and knowledge and using some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, I've built a property portfolio worth just short of £2 million. We've built a team around us that's enabled us to go from doing little refurbs right the way through to now we've just finished our first new build house, and it's all because I've learnt over the years. I've learnt through the experiential learning cycle, and I've done lots and lots of courses. I've done loads of courses. So remember, what we're giving you today is QIFF. It's quick, informative, it's fun and it's free. It is not a hair product. Okay, so I said I'm going to use extremities to make the point. So let's just talk about some people. Over here we've got Nellie the elephant. Now Nellie the elephant, the sort of person that Nellie is she's quite quiet. Possibly some people might call her an introvert. She's not really, but she's quiet. She considers everything. She's careful about what she does. She's very thoughtful. She assumes nothing, believes no one, and checks everything. She's very, very careful. Rational, logical thinking, and pretty successful. Let's imagine then, Nellie the elephant is packing a trunk and running away from the circus. I've heard that before somewhere. So she would have a very carefully packed trunk. She would have an itinerary, an inventory. She would have a train timetable to make sure she didn't miss the trains. She'd have a hotel booked for her first night away. She would be planning for probably weeks, if not months, to make sure it went right. And as a result, her running away from the circus would be very successful. Decision making, as I've said now, Nellie assumes nothing, believes no one, checks everything. She's very thorough. She plans and organises. She has written schedules. She'll stick rigidly to a plan, and she'll stick rigidly to reviews and reviews of that plan. If she comes to a problem, Nellie will stop, consider absolutely everything, talk to the experts, check a plan, rewrite the plan, and then will eventually deal with the problem. But it might not be particularly quick. Nonetheless, Nellie is careful, considerate, successful as a leader, a manager, or as a person in general. She's very good at what she does. but like everything else, she sticks rigidly to her ways, and 8 times out of 10 that's fine. But the 2 times out of 10 that it isn't fine might be that she doesn't make a decision quick enough, so she misses out on some really special stuff, or she's not able to flex a plan and go off in a different direction at the drop of a hat, because everything has to be done systematically and processed. Okay? Keep Nelly at the back of your mind, and now move across and think about world's grumpiest dad. Now, he is the polar opposite of Nelly. He is the sort of person, if he walks into a room, by God, you know he's in that room. He will try and take control, he'll want to be the loudest voice, he'll want to tell jokes, he'll be the person who asks most questions during a presentation. This is world's angriest dad. He's brash, he's probably what you would call extrovert. He does things very much on the hoof, and he's sort of, he doesn't really work around plans there for mugs, not for him, but he's there. Now, if the world's grumpiest dad was going to run away from the circus and pack his trunk, firstly, he'd forget to pack half of what he needed. Secondly, he'd do it on the spur of the moment and he'd just decide he was going to do it. He'd miss the bloody train and he'd end up sleeping in a gutter because he didn't have an itinerary or a plan. However, he would get there. He'd get there eventually because of his drive, his ambition, and his other skills that would a roundabout route, but he would actually get there. He's the sort of bloke or woman who acts on facts. Doesn't act on facts, sorry. Prefers gut instincts. Will fill in the blanks when they don't really know all the information. Very strong, self-opinionated, and a bit lastminute.com. And if it comes to a problem, he'll just barge straight through it and will not consider the collateral damage that might do, that taking a bit of time and considering it could avoid. He also uses ABC, but he uses assume everything, believe everyone, and check nothing. So again, 8 times out of 10, world's grumpiest dad is successful, gets on in the world and he's a leader and he can make things happen. But the 2 times that it goes wrong, the collateral damage is usually quite catastrophic with this type of person. Neither one of these is right or wrong. So in the middle, we've got Peter Perfect. Nice fella. He's actually, if any of you are old enough, he's off Camberwick Green. But Peter Perfect in the middle, you'll very rarely meet this person. He or she is usually universally liked, extremely successful, has a plan for everything, never seems to get flustered, very level-headed, and very clear goals, and achieves a lot. They're very good achievers. When you do see them, I suggest you step back and watch, because these people really have got this down to a T. But the truth is, wherever you are on this spectrum, nothing's right or wrong. There's lots of different places you might be. You might be sort of between Peter and Nelly. You might be between Peter and Grumpy's dad. There's no wrong place to be. It's just different types of personalities. In fact, there's so many different variations of where you could sit on this. I call it, there's at least 50 shades of ways. You like it? 50 shades of ways? Oh, never mind. Anyway, but the art is to try and recognise roughly where you think you are and roughly where you think other people are, and then you can adapt your behaviour accordingly. So remember, what I'm telling you today is quick, informative, free and fun, and it's meant to be imparting some knowledge to you that you can use to improve, and that's our special offer: quick, informative, free and fun knowledge. So let's go on then, let's talk about the do's and don'ts. In terms of do's, when you're thinking about this system, these people, they're thinking about the different types. Do spend time observing and learning. Don't go into a room or into a conversation or into a situation and immediately assume that someone is a Nelly, or that someone is a Grumpy, or that someone's Peter Perfect for that matter. Just take your time, and before you decide where you think roughly they might sit on the 50 shades of ways. Do recognise, once you've done that someone who is a grumpy dad will react differently to someone who is a Nelly. So for example, Nelly likes plans. She will want a spreadsheet, a plan. If you're approaching her, let's do this, and some kind of maybe timeline. And Grumpy's dad, he's going to react better if you say, right, I've got an idea, it's on the back of a fag packet, we can implement it tomorrow and make a real difference and start changing the world. It's just a different approach. Nothing's right or wrong. So do recognise the strengths and weaknesses, and do task accordingly. So if you're building a team, you want a really good mix of both. You don't want one or the other. Believe you me, if you get the same, they're like that, the banging heads. What you want is a nice mix. They might not like each other, they might not even get on, but what they will do is produce a really good, diverse team that achieves the goals. So remember, you're probably going to give Nellie the job, and I generalise, I said this at the beginning, Nellie's your accountant, she's your planner, your strategist, and world's grumpiest dad, he's probably the guy you want to go and give the builders a bollocking because they're not getting where they should be, or to be your operations manager who's going to change the world or deal with problems as they come up. So do see things through other people's eyes, and then do remember that your behaviour can affect their behaviour. There's a thing called Bitari's box, and in the time allocated it's very difficult to explain, but basically your attitude affects my behaviour towards you. My behaviour affects my own attitude towards you, and my attitude towards you affects your behaviour and thus your attitude towards me. Right? Sounds really complicated. Here's the simplest way of putting it. If you tell a kid that they're stupid and behave towards them as if they are stupid, before very long they start to believe they're stupid. And that's your attitude and your behaviour affecting their attitude, their behaviour. They start behaving stupid. And it's a classic piece of psychology, and you can really affect how people are. So do adapt your behaviour to try and work closer to these people, and be aware of how your behaviour can actually change other people's behaviour. Remember the 50 Shades of Ways. And remember, the special offer today is quick, informative, free and fun information, knowledge, whatever you want to call it. There's no backup to this, it's just QIFF. It's quick, informative, free and fun. Okay, some don'ts then. Don't put people straight in a box. Don't walk into a room and say, well, that's a Nelly, that's a grumpy dad, and that's Peter Perfect. Because, remember, they might be adapting their behaviour to accommodate you. You might go to a party, someone might have had a load of beer and be over this end of the scale, and actually, in reality, in real life, they're closer to this end, because people change with beer or circumstances, etc. So don't put people straight in a box. Don't put yourself in a box. And I can tell you from bitter experience that I was told something once, so I put myself in this particular box. But the thing I was told was, you don't do detail, Dave. So I just started walking around telling everybody, you do that because I'm not doing detail. You do that because I don't do detail. And pretty soon I was pissing everybody off. And I put myself in this box. And actually, when I set my mind to it, I'm pretty good at detail. So don't put yourself in a box. Try and get yourself out of that box. But do be aware of roughly where you think you might fit on this scale and how you can move yourself. You don't have to be either end. You can actually move yourself between. So the other thing is, if you are going to adapt your behaviour, don't overdo your behaviour. So if you think, oh, I'm dealing with the world's grumpiest dad, don't become the world's grumpiest dad. If you're dealing with Nelly, don't become Nelly, because you'll just clash. And the other thing is, if you overdo it and you overcompensate, people will see, you'll show out for what you are, which is basically a bit of a fraud. You just need to nudge things, not make massive changes. And finally, don't play all your cards. If you walk into a room and say, hello, my name's Dave, I'm just going to assess you for 10 minutes before I decide how I'm going to talk to you, and again, I'm using the extreme to make the point, then very quickly people are going to recognise what you're doing and they're going to feel uncomfortable with you. Okay, right. Well, listen, thanks for listening. Hope you've got some little tips and maybe you can use these in your business or personal life. The special offer today is QIFF. It's not a hair product. It's quick, informative, free, fun information, knowledge, whatever you want to call it. It's not backed up with marketing. There's no mentorship. There's no book. It's just free. If you enjoyed it, have a look at some of my other videos. They're all QIFF. Quick, informative, free, fun. And all I ask is just send us a note. If you think it's shit, say it's shit. If you think it's good, say it's good. I really am in this to have a bit of fun and hopefully help one or two people along the way. So keep watching, there's more videos to come. Remember the special offer you always get with our videos. It's QIFF, quick, informative, free and fun. Have a great weekend. See you later.